Hi, I'm Darren. In this segment, we're going to do a wonderful dry rub salmon, aka Salmo Solar, which is the, well, I would say the Latin name for it, yeah. Okay, so dry rub salmon can be really, really nice. You can do this 24 hours in advance, just to let the wonderful product soak in. Obviously, we don't have 24 hours, but we're just gonna do it quickly here. But don't forget, put in the fridge 24 hours later, the flavors will have really become robust and wonderful. All right, let's get started. So we just grab our old Salmo Solar, aka Atlantic salmon. Quick tip, the salmon is at the freshest when the muscle mass is at its height, and that's when it's just about to spawn and heading back to the home river. So salmon are born in freshwater, they go to the ocean, to fatten up, eat, chill out, meet friends, all that kind of stuff, and then they come back to their home river to spawn. All right, so there we go. You can keep the skin on. The skin's quite nice and tasty if you like it. If not, feel free to just fillet it off. In this segment, we're just going to keep it on. All right. Obviously, you can see the bones coming out here. Feel free to pick bone these if you want. Just grab a tweezer or grab your fingers and pull it out. I'm having limited success. There we go. So there the bone comes out pretty easily. So feel free to pull those out or leave them in. Your choice. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're just going to make a quick dry rub. I've got over here, what I've got is some onion powder. I'm just going to put this on the board like that. We have some garlic powder. All right. Obviously, feel free to add and subtract whatever you want. If you don't feel like garlic, don't put garlic in. You can put turmeric, you can put cumin, whatever you feel like. We have some chili flakes, just for a little bit of heat. And then over here, we have cayenne pepper. So it's slightly different. We're just trying to build the vertical flavor profile. All right, put that over there. Just with your fingers, just bring it together. Liven up the spices by gently rubbing them. You can also do this in a pestle and mortar, works well. Or you can even put it in a pan and just liven them up with a bit of heat. All right, so there we go. So now what we're gonna do is just gently coat this with the dry rub. Like I said before, feel free to do this beforehand. Even just 15 minutes before is fine. But if you have some time, do it like on a Friday night and eat it for Saturday night dinner. Perfect. All right, we want the salmon to speak for itself. The beautiful, robust flavor of the salmon must come through. So don't over dry rub it. Just a nice, easy, light coating. Good stuff. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll. Just wipe out the little hands a bit here. Let's fire up the Bismarck. Okay, so this is going to come to temperature. Put down a little bit of oil. All right, there we go. We need a reasonable amount of oil just to pan fry it. The oil is obviously going to add some flavor. It's going to add a little bit of texture. It's going to be really, really nice. And obviously, if you don't put oil in, it's going to stick. Feel free to fire this on the grill. If you have a nice grill pan, you can do that. Dry grill it. Very, very nice. Outside in the barbie. Barbie's awesome. You're going to get those char marks, a lot of smoky flavor. But if you live in a country which is minus 300 every single day, which this is the country that I live in, you probably want to just stay inside and stop the frostbite. So bring your pan up to temperature, touch the side. When it's too hot to touch, your pan's ready to rock and roll. In the meantime, just gonna get ready to plate. So let's just grab a nice plate here. All right, there we go. Put some green down because the beautiful color of the salmon with the green is gonna be really, really nice. Just arrange that. Put a little bit of onion, just a little bit of flavor, like that, some chopped onion. This is a Benoit's cut onion, so 1/8 of an inch, nice and small. You don't want too much onion, but just a little bit of flavor. Feel free to make a quick vinaigrette, pop that on, but the full nature of the salmon, you probably don't need a vinaigrette too much. All right, here we go. Oil has come up to temperature, it's nice and viscous. So we're gonna put this down, I'm gonna put this down skin side first, because I want the skin to crisp up nicely. If you're not a big fan, like I said, just run your knife through it and it'll come straight off. All right, here we go. Okay, it's got a nice sizzle going down. I'm gonna cook it on the skin side at medium-high heat for about 2 minutes, just so the skin gets really crispy and delicious. Flip it over, 1 minute. So 3 minutes in total cooking time. Super easy, nice and quick. Ow, ow. It's starting to smoke and spatter, which is tricky. So I'm just gonna turn the heat down, let that cook a little bit. All right, there we go. You can see the smoke point of the oil. This is olive oil, it's quite low. So I've just dropped the heat, get that skin nice and crispy. All right, in the meantime, I'm just gonna do a little mise en place, a little cleanup. Let's just put these guys away. Perfect. Obviously a little bit of salt and pepper would be good, so feel free to grab that. I have fleur de sel, which is gray and very granular and grainy. Super healthy, wonderful. Well, as healthy as salt can be, as you know. All right, so we're just gonna finish that at the end. All right, let's find the old spatula. So now what I wanna do is I just wanna flip it over like that. There we go. So you can see that beautiful char over there. The skin is nice and crispy and absolutely delicious to eat. Put it back in the heat. I've dropped the heat to sort of a low heat. Let that just sear off nicely. Okay, you can see it there. There's a little bit of excess oil, but that's okay because it's going to run straight off. All right, just keep that on the heat. The salmon is smelling absolutely terrific. Really, really healthy, beautiful fish. The reason fish is more tender than meat is the way the muscle fibers are arranged. They're arranged in sheets, and the connective tissue is much less than in beef or pork or chicken. That's why fish is sort of flaky and it falls apart, is because these connective tissues are not very robust. All right, so that's a little, just a little aside. Let's just check this over here. Okay, we've got another sort of 30 seconds to go. All right, as you can see, it's smoking up quite nicely. But that's good because the smoke point has been reached. The fish is cooking beautifully. We've got a low heat going. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm now going to flip it over with the big orange. You can just use your fingers if you want. Just grab it like that, and over it goes. Look at that. That's just terrific. Really, really beautifully cooked. All the garlic powder, the onion powder, the cayenne pepper, the chili, it's coming up. It's starting to brown nicely, caramelize a bit. The caramelization process adds a ton of flavor. Don't overcook your salmon. Keep it nice and moist and pink in the inside so it doesn't really get kind of that dry sort of salmon-y gunk in the middle, which is that white stuff, which is actually the salmon blood. We don't want that. We want to keep it nice and fresh and airy. Feel free to just touch it. All right, this guy's done. As I touched it, it resembles this part of my finger, which is rare, medium well. All right, so we're good to go. I'm just going to kill the heat here a little bit. All right, the heat's done. And what I want to do is just arrange it nicely over here and make it look nice and pretty. Okay, here we go. So let's just grab this. Make sure that all the oil comes off. Right? It looks oily, but it's not. The skin has been beautifully seared and seasoned. And there we go. Okay, this comes up nicely like that. And just present it to your plate like that. Perfect. Okay, don't be scared if the salmon's a little bit rare. I'm just going to cut it through the middle. Okay, let's put this over here. There we go. Got a little lettuce action happening. Perfect. Okay, look at that. Beautifully cooked on the outside, still rare on the inside. We can probably layer it something like that. You got the skin on there, which is going to be crispy and absolutely delicious. Okay, good to go. I would absolutely love to be presented this plate. The salmon is really, really good for you. It's super high in omega-3 or omega-3, depending on where you're from, which breaks down cholesterol. So instead of having a steak, have a salmon steak. Super, super good. Thanks very much for watching salmon. Love cooking for you. The food goes on.